Hi Professor, so now I'm going to talk about week 8 OGL. So in the first video I saw use of voice note force. So this idea comes from justice theory, which says that people obey the law more when they feel respected, heard or treated fairly rather than being controlled by force. So in this video they also highlight that when the police or authority use communication or like negotiation instead of violence, people are more likely to cooperate and follow the law. And also the force and aggressive policies can lead to mistrust and resistance in communities, and there will be more protests against the government, and people are gonna get more angry if the government or like police are like using their forces. For example, I would say community policing programs where officers engage with locals, listen to their concerns and build relationship rather than just making arrests and help reduce crime. This was the one example which I noted. In the second one, the nexus of crime and politics in India. In India, crime and politics are like deeply connected. As we all know, many politicians in India are accused of criminal activities, and some of the politicians did like many criminal activities, and for which they are like not punished. So the key issue they talked about in the video was like the criminalization of politics. Many politicians have serious criminal charges, yet they hold power to weak due to weak enforcement of laws and corruption in the government system in India. And the second is vote buying and corruption. Politicians often use money, muscle power, like illegal means to win or to avoid the elections in India. In There are like many cities in which they uh, just uh, either give money to poor or or give like alcohol to people. This I have seen with my own eyes. So the parties were like giving money or like either alcohol to the people to buy their votes so that they could win in that certain areas. So this is very common, this kind of corruption. And to be honest, the poor people, they just fell for it by seeing the small term profit, and they just give the politicians bad politicians vote. So the poor people give bad politicians vote, and after that they have to suffer for their voting. Also, the police and judiciary manipulation is also common in India, which they talked about in video that uh, ev- the, the political influence is very strong. If you have political influence in India, you are like you can do anything and you can get away with it. Like, not the politicians, even their like family members, small kids. Like, there has been a lot of incidents in India where like a kid of a small kid, like who is like 14, 15, 17 years old, driving the car and crashes into people, and like many people have died. And the kid is like still got away with it because he had a politician family member, like his parents were like into politics. So this is also like very common, allowing like criminals in power to avoid punishment. The third one, in third video, the Barney Madoff Ponzi scheme, the white collar crime. This one is like the biggest Ponzi schemes in history. They talked about like defrauding investors of $65 billion, and they say like it's a classic example of white collar crime where criminologists study to understand financial fraud. So they explain like Madoff promised high returns to investors but used money from new investors to pay old ones instead of actually making profits. This scam lasted for decades because Madoff manipulated trust and complex financial networks and took advantage of weak regulations at that time. And according to strain theory, Madoff actions can be explained by pressure due to maintain his wealth and reputation in capitalist society. Also, this impacted like thousands of people, including charity and pension funds, lost their savings. So this one was also a big one in history, as they like explained in the video. The fourth one is enduring myth of black criminality. This refers to a racial stereotype that black people are prone to crime, false belief reinforced by history, media, and systematic bias. So in criminology, this is studied under critical race theory and labeling theory. So this is affected by like the news and movies. As you can see in most of the Hollywood movies, the black people are like playing the roles of either gangsters or like thieves or robbers, and white people are like in police playing role of police. And this has also played a huge role in like race stereotype, and also in laws and policies they target minorities, leading to higher uh, harshful uh, incidents for minor uh, communities. And these are the things which I learned from watching the videos. And thank you so much, Professor.